we'll start up on that business when we get in here. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I'm your host, Johnny Hellcat. With me today are covering exhibits Gabby, GeeWhiz.
Greetings, everybody.
And Travis Gardner.
Aloha.
Do you think that Sanguine will be joining us in a little bit later? But until then, it is just us. How are you guys doing?
Same old, I suppose.
Well, yeah, today wasn't, except for the terrible allergic reaction today, was not bad.
So, what did you have the reaction to besides, well, everything?
Well, I was at this customer's house and I took apart their dryer and the interior of it was just matted with dog hair. And when I was vacuuming it, I guess I just stirred it up enough that it just, my eyes puffed up and couldn't breathe, and I realized I didn't have my inhaler on me, and I'm on the other side of the city, and like, oh well, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I hear a cat. Is that my background? Or...
No, that's Chonk.
That'll be Chonk.
Oh, you have a cat named Chonk. That's the best.
Oh, hold on. Here we go.
He's so cute. It's good you live up to your name, buddy.
But
Does tripod only have 3 limbs?
yes.
Oh my god. You got some brownie points with me. You have a cat named Chonk and Tripod.
I love my cats. They're my kids.
Apparently I'm pretty quiet, so let's see if I can turn myself up. Oh, my mic's turned down, that's why. Let's see if I can
Riddle solved.
change that. Why should everything work the same way twice? Okay, you do it. Otherwise, is apparently deciding he's going to play production assistant by trying to catch the mouse cursor as it darts across the screens.
The other day, Chonk decided that she wanted to jump on the back of my chair. And the tripod just wandered in. Sitting there doing some aggressive grooming.
So, yesterday we had you watch on your ex-wife's suggestion Abe O'Burnham stand-up. Not necessarily the one she suggested for a good reason, but we ended up watching Words with THUR and Rotten. What'd you think?
Because of Robin and her friends being like the stereotypical college liberal millennials, and how they were completely just enamored by him. I wanted to go in thinking, oh, this is going to be terrible. And then her saying, oh, he's unproblematic, just made it worse. But I'm like, okay, I am not going to be one of those persons that judges somebody based on the fans. I want to see what it is. And he is actually quite funny.
Yeah. Like with most things, fans will ruin anything. And
My internet's acting up. You guys sound really robot-y to me. Am I robot-y?
no.
No. But I thought it was. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I have. Let's see if I can.
Oh,
That's my production assistant.
eh. I need to get a second monitor, but I'm going to have to get a bigger desk.
Yep.
Oh.
And we lost her. You shall be back. So I guess I'll say what did you like? What didn't you like?
I did like. The. I think he has really good pacing. It's not fast, and it's also not slow. He doesn't seem to like try to drag a joke out. It's like he gets through it and he moves on. You'll know some comedians that will. It's like, okay, that was funny, so I'm going to keep stretching it and stretching it and stretching it until you're like, okay, please, we're done.
Yeah, move it on. There are a couple of his other stand-ups where like he makes that into a joke, but we won't spoil that one for now.
The musical numbers were good. And they were talking about how other comedians called him hackish because he does the music, and I'm like, if I was able to play instruments and do write comedic songs, that's not hacky. That's actually much cleverer than even just doing a regular set of comedy.
Yeah, but there are comedians who will look the purists, like he said, that will kind of look at musical comics as gimmicky, and they'll kind of write them off as them not being funny, which I guess you could say typically would be could be true.
Oh yeah, I can see how it could. I don't. This might be a little bit far back for a lot of people, but there was a political comedian on PBS that would play the piano. And my grandparents thought he was like the funniest thing, and all I could remember though, I can't remember any of his bits, but I remember you've heard people play piano live, and sometimes it's just really good, and then sometimes you hear them just banging away at the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
What they're playing is good, but for some reason you can hear them hitting the keys. And I hate that.
Yeah, that could be the quality of the keyboard, though.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, he was hacking. He did. It was overdone political humor and really half-assed piano playing. And this guy had a national audience. They brought him out every 4 years for presidential elections. They even made a parody of him on The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no idea what the guy's name is, and hopefully he's just disappeared to history because he wasn't worth remembering. I wouldn't even say it was boomer type comedy. It was like really early, like really old boomers comedy. And
Adam Sandler is not worth remembering. Adam Sandler, he was funny back when I was in high school. But, yeah, I'd say his songs are... They're past their shelf life.
you
Will you stop? Not your rubbing post, it's my mic stand.
I decided I needed to go and look at the chat because
But is there anything that you have you done? Did you watch anything in here that you didn't prefer? Anything you didn't like about it?
you know, if there was something I didn't like about it, it wasn't really that bad enough for it to stand up to me today, even.
Yeah.
And there was something that stuck out to me, and I do not remember it. In general, I'm not gonna like, oh, he's the greatest. He's just really good.
Yeah. No, and most of the time you'll see something that's like it's either okay or like I liked it when I first saw it. It was pretty cool. Like it was my go-to for a while. I had it recorded back when VHS was a thing. And like it, people still use those to record, but at least they should. I don't know how good the quality is anymore, but if you're able to use VCR tape, other than your ability to rewind,
you've heard of H. Bomber guy, right?
yeah, heard of, but not heard of. So
his political stuff is just stupid, and he's a hard left. He's part of the bread tube.
Yeah, there was a he was part of that Christie crew too.
And he wasn't, but when he does his, he did a couple. He has a couple of videos I actually like, and one of them was, he was talking about how some movies felt more suspenseful and scary on VHS than they do on DVD. And it was because VHS kind of has artifacts in there on really dark. So if you're watching something on Blu-ray, DVD, streaming, a black screen is black, but if it's VHS, it's patchy and it's moving.
Yeah.
And he says that adds atmosphere to it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I can see it too. But you know how you have people that are like, they have to listen to vinyl. Like vinyl is best. It's a purist. You get all the little pop squeals. Nothing. I've never really fully bought their explanations on those, but the reason why I figure that people like it better is because when you put something like that on, or VHS, something else, because it's not instantaneous, you can just go to where you want. There's a ritual to it. You have to pay attention to what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's part of it more than any kind of quality to it.
I think it's also it kind of hits that nostalgia nerve, if you will. Like, it gives you that old school feeling to it. Like, even if it's something like, my friend had bought the Slipknot Iowa vinyl, and we bought a turntable just to listen to it. Like, we bought it at some pawn shop for like, it was like $45.
And you know,
it was very weird listening to that album on vinyl.
Like I said, I'm not going to criticize anybody liking it, because I do too. I do think it's great, but I think part of it, the part that people are not paying attention to it, is like, yeah, you have to put it down there. You have to listen through the entire album. You're not just going to skip songs. You got motion and everything else at the turntable. You got to put the needle down. There's something to that, I think, psychologically, that makes people feel better about it.
Yeah.
What they're doing. You're going to sit down and you're going to listen to it. You're not going to listen to it while doing something else. You're going to focus on it, and it makes you feel better about what you're doing. What you're listening to, I mean.
It looks like we have both of us have cats yowling in the background.
And you know, I just love it. I mean, as you can tell, I have film cameras and typewriters.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people out there is like, oh, film is so much better than digital. You know, for the most part, no, it's not. I always liken it to, you know, you got artists out there that like oil paints, and you got artists that like acrylics or pencil. It's a medium like any other. And some photographers work better in digital, and some, oh, Jesus Christ.
Enough humans, speak words.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's my piece, that we're completely off topic, but I really did enjoy Bo Burnham's stuff more than I thought I would. And I'm really disappointed that I can't, in good conscience, bash something that Robin likes.
Yeah, you can't. You can just be like, well, he's all right.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably, all right. What do you mean, all right? But yeah, the fact that you said that she said he was not problematic though. Yeah, that's not a thing.
Well, you know, thinking about it, when she said he's not problematic, I think what she meant was he's not problematic to me.
No.
I was just reading Assassin. It's like, yeah, you're right. I mean, they've improved everything to make it look better.
Welcome back.
And I think it's funny is that they had to make it. They had to make it slightly worse quality to make it actually look better. That's cool. I don't well.
Yeah.
Gabby, you can see the cat again.
Oh, LeChonk.
You know, we should just have an entire stream where it's just the cats.
I got my own little kitty cat Leica right here. It was either we can listen to her meow outside or she can just like sit in my arms. She made the choice.
What? All right. Mine wants out. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah. They really wanted to push higher frame rates because they're like, oh, we can refresh the screen faster. But then it's like nobody liked it.
And what are we talking about right now?
Oh, I was replying to I was talking about like we were talking about like we started off on VHS, and I brought up something of it that H Bomber guy said that VHS sometimes will lend a bit of suspense because dark screens are not completely dark. They have little artifacts and everything else that kind of add a bit of mystery. Now it's like it's probably more of like a psychological thing of having to, put in a tape and then doing all that. You're paying more attention than just pulling up something on Netflix and then it led on to like film cameras, like how some people are like, oh, film cameras are so much better than digital. And in my opinion, I don't think that's perfectly right. I think it's more like a choice of medium.
Yeah, I think it boils down to a preference.
Well, preference, what you're doing. I mean, because with digital, you have you're limited by how much you have that you can put there, but like you can save it to a format on a space, and you can delete and come back. But with film, you're kind of stuck. Like if you used your tape, you've used it. Like you can't go back. And there are some people who can, they have no problem splicing that film. I haven't worked with film before, but I mean, I've spliced videos, but nothing like film.
I actually have an 8mm camera, and I have a film splicer and editor. I have no idea how to use it. I bought it all like in a big lot sale, cheap, and my idea was, oh, I'm going to get all this together, and I want to shoot stuff on 8mm film. The problem is that film is stupidly expensive.
Yeah. And it's not like it's cassette tape, you know, where it's something you can just record over and over and over again.
And you get so little film, so little time. I mean, do you mind?
I don't think they do.
I'll just dig my claws into here.
You know the reason why I had to get this chair is because of you doing that to the other one.
They hear about the YouTube sick kid scandal. Actually, I just watched the Omegon.
What scandal?
I watched the Omegon video on it. This kid had like 2 heart transplants.
Is this the one with Johnny Depp?
Yeah.
The Amber Turd fans got so upset at Johnny in the trial. It's like, you know what? Let's just deny this kid who's going through medical stuff. Like, let's just take down the video. Like, thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, and like just before he hit 100,000, they got rid of his channel for him. Like, oh shit.
Like, he's in full freaking like Captain Sparrow gear, and they're like, why can't he be sober enough to do this video? It's like, maybe you're not used to acting because you enjoy people like Amber Turd, but like, that is acting. He's in character. That's Captain Jack Sparrow right now, people.
Yeah, it sounded like it was a known bot problem, but it's oddly convenient.
Oh, was it? I mean, if I'm wrong, I'd like to be wrong. Like, hopefully people aren't that vindictive. It'll make me feel better if they're not.
Yeah, but yeah, I think just for the fact that yeah, it's because, and I think it's because of the whole Johnny Depp video thing, and everyone's been shading this. Everyone's been sharing this guy's story. So yeah, it kind of spread like wildfire after the Johnny Depp video that he put out, and they still shouldn't have like removed the channel like they did. Like, I can see them wanting to be cautious with like the growth that it had, because yeah, that's like way fast. But yeah.
But see, if there was actually humans working at YouTube, they would have like looked, oh yeah, this is a charity thing for a kid with a disease, and it's Johnny Depp. This explains why it's doing numbers. It would have taken a human reviewer, if they ever implement those, like 20 seconds at most to figure out. If they had functioning brain cells.
But no, we let our robots do everything.
Right.
I was listening to Nick Ricada, and he was talking about the YouTube moderation, and he just blurted out there that you're a bunch of soulless, brain dead, and he just went on a big. It got worse than there. And I'm like, oh well, that'll help the channel.
But I mean, unless you're a giant creator who can get people to make some noise on social media, like they don't give a toss about throwing like anyone under the bus. Like there's no humans reviewing this. Like someone's whole like platform can be taken down, like mass reporting or just whatever shenanigans. And unless you make a splash on social, on like on Twitter, you're just screwed, dude.
Yeah, they somebody brought that up on the radio about how it's going to their ability to just take down the entire channel. Because it's becoming more and more common, it's like it's going to hurt them in the long run because nobody's going to want to invest in putting up a YouTube channel and making content if just one bad incident they lose all of that.
It's gonna take a while for like YouTube to not be like the titan that it is when it comes to like video sharing. But yeah, but people will move on, like, if there's an alternative that's growing and more fair. It needs to happen.
I really hope they do. I really hope we get something going.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, oh, we need to have a perfectly free speech platform. I'm not. You kind of have to have a little bit of moderation there still, or you end up like BitChute.
What happened with BitChute?
I don't hear of anybody actually using it anymore.
That's true. That was the hot new alternative. Now it's Rumble, I believe.
Yeah.
Rumble or Odyssey?
Yeah,
Well,
it was because
it started with Odyssey, and then, Father of the Year started using it, and then I think he got booted from it, and now he's on Cozy. With, Nick, my suit is, this is my dad's suit. Whatever his name is. Fuentes.
Oh, that loser.
Yeah. And Father of the Year being Ethan Ralph.
I completely forgot his existence. Only if I'm watching a Medicare stream do I remember, oh yeah, that loser.
oh yeah, the only thing I can that I relate him from, other than just getting punched a lot in Europe.
It was the same country twice, wasn't it? Was it Spain or
Portugal?
Portugal.
The only thing I can remember him from is he was the one that was there when Christian was arrested, wasn't he? I think so.
Yeah, I believe he did kind of break that out.
And quite honestly, I don't think it's good for your image to be where everybody's like, oh yeah, you're the one that I associate with Christian.
I think everyone knows him better for eating the poo-poo, to be fair.
You eat the poo-poo.
Eat the poo-poo. I don't know if you saw that that specific sex clip.
I did not, and I did not.
You should don't do it. Don't. I would not recommend it to my enemies.
No, there's some ventures I just won't take. That is one of them. It's nope.
Oh, we're talking about controversies about
That's
Elon Musk.
Oh my
Elon
God.
Musk and the plane tracker.
Took down their account, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, God, Elon's been like the hot button issue for weeks. I mean, I guess I
Olbermann,
understand why. I'm tired.
Olbermann
I'm
got
so
banned because
tired.
of that.
Wasn't his reasoning like for physical safety purposes of like anyone on Twitter, like someone's live location could be seen as like a threat to their safety?
I think he has a point. And a lot of people out there were like, well, that's that's public information. You can go on flight trackers and find that information. Well, the difference is between me going out and looking for that information is one thing. I mean, yes, it's public information. I can go find it if I want. But setting up a bot and having it tweeted in real time all day, I do think that is crossing a bit of a line.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like the whole Twitter docs or Twitter files came out, and like people like libs of TikTok getting banned, and like they actively did not take down the tweet that doxed her home address, like purposefully. Like that's garbage. The old administration was poo-poo too.
I'm just not at Robin's blaming Elon for the trouble at her company.
Really?
Oh, you want to hear the explanation?
All right, hit me.
Okay, Robin works for a software company here. I'm not going to say the name of it, but it's the only software company in Oklahoma City that everybody can find. And they've been on remote work for 2 years because of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they came out the other day and they said, oh, we're doing away with remote work. You have to come back into the office because we really don't feel that you're doing quality work at home.
That is why
And
I
they're-
don't work from home.
They're making entire departments starting to go back starting next month. And they started like taking away some of the weird amenities that they had at work. So now they'll have to like pay for their lunches, and they'll also they have to pay a monthly fee for the break time yoga.
Oh no,
So she
how
working at
terrible.
Twitter?
What?
Was she working at Twitter?
No.
Right? Before making people pay for lunches, I would have taken away the free wine.
They don't have wine at this place.
No, we my company, not my company, but the one I work for. When they had for while lockdown was still in, every Wednesday they would have a free lunch for the people who were working, in office. And then the remaining days were, fuck you, pay me. But
What about the people who don't work on Wednesdays? That's a little unfair. Like, what if your days off are Tuesday and Wednesday or Wednesday and Thursday?
oh no, it's
That's
all,
gotta suck.
It's all Monday through Friday. So there's no
Ah,
weekends.
gotcha.
There's no weekend orders.
But yeah, just listening to her listing off all of her complaints. It's like, oh my God, they're going to make us work and pay for lunch. And this was after like It's like, oh yeah, my morning consisted of me using a shop vac to sunk a lot of sludge out of the bottom of a dishwasher, and then my lunch was a gas station hot dog. I mean, knock it off. You're fine.
Yeah.
I just don't like people complaining about that. Like, if every other pleb has to pay for their meals, like, I'm talking about the people at Twitter specifically, not like Robin or anyone else. But like, yeah, like we don't get little soundproof meditation boxes. Like, we don't have that little hacky sack game on the roof. What's it called? Where you try to throw a bag into like the hole?
The cornhole.
Like, yeah, like we don't have all that at no place has that. Like, get over yourself.
Yeah. I'm like,
I think there's worse things. Like if someone had to start paying for parking at work or something, I would understand those kind of complaints. I'm like, dude, I have to work here. Like, don't make me pay for parking. Like, stuff like that I could understand.
Yeah. Like, my wife's work, actually, she has to park on the street because the parking lot that's there is a paid lot, and so she has to get a parking pass to park on the street on the other side of the lot. And the company she works for pays for that for her, and doesn't put that against her paycheck at all. So that's a plus for that. Because that'd be some bullshit if they're making her pay X amount per just to park right there for your job.
yeah, and they don't do that, but they had, before the pandemic, they had all these little luxury things that they gave all their employees, and they're not getting them now.
We're also in a
like,
recession too.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say,
Elon's fault.
you're in a six-figure job that I know people that would kill to have that. Go to work. You're fine.
It's either get rid of the free lunches and a couple of extra things that you really don't need, or maybe a couple of people can lose your jobs. Which one are you voting for?
Yeah.
I mean, I know if you're safe, I know which one most people would vote for, which is awful, but
Oh yeah, we can cut. We can cut from other places. We don't need the janitors.
Yeah.
I would hate to see a place that fired all the janitors. Oh no. Trust me, I have done housekeeping. Like, I've seen what people do without taking care of a space. I've done rentals, like houses and commercial spaces.
In my previous job, we had clients who had their own bathrooms, and you have someone cleaning the bathroom, and you get back in there, and it's as spotless as it could be for a lightly used, sanitized bathroom. And then you get to the staff bathroom, and it's like, what fresh hell is this? Like, I would rather clean that client's bathroom after they bag guacamole and shit everywhere than clean our own staff bathroom.
I was just not. Yeah, I've had this. She's been bringing this up to me all week. And she was in my kitchen. And she was going on all about this, and I'm just sitting there looking. It's like, why are you here? Did Didn't you tell me you wanted a divorce?
What are you doing?
It's like, you can go home. But no, we're gonna come over and just ruin Travis's afternoon because I have to talk to somebody. Well, talk to your boyfriend that you have now. Go yourself.
I have to talk to you about my day, and no one else will do it with me.
What makes you think I want to do it now?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's see. Do you realize, Gabby, our first stream together was June 8th of 2018.
God, 4 years ago, really?
Yeah.
Time sure goes by. How do you know that?
I looked it up.
Do you have an iPhone that gave you one of your like memory things?
No, I looked it up.
Oh.
Because I
God.
remembered, I was trying to remember when my first live stream was. It's April of 2018. April 6th with Jack Cochran and the Irate Prostate. And then my second one...
May he rest in peace.
Was, I think, me. Just fidgeting with stuff. And then another one with P-Dog Night after that. P-Dog, Jack, and Irate as well. I really miss the... I wish I would have saved it. Hindsight being what it is.
It's always 2020.
Yeah. But we were... I had tweeted this out, and I'm like... If I would have known how to manage having that stream off, if I knew I was able to download it before having to get rid of it, I would have totally done so, and then I would have loaded that thing on Rumble. It quite possibly the most fun I've had on a stream, and it was me and Jack just. It was been Tanacon was the thing, and we tore through everyone. We went through the Tanacon guest list.
Oh, Tanacon! I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh God, I remember when Tanamongu was freaking relevant.
Yeah.
Back when iDubbbz was cool.
Yeah, and we were going through. Quite a few distasteful jokes were made, and I stand by all of them.
I apologize for nothing.
There was it was a bad day, and they got the brunt of it. It was we were ripping through everything. It was fun, and I had the stream open like Pat does with his stream, and it was back when Hangouts on Air was the way they did it, so it didn't matter who clicked on that button. They're like, oh, it's a link. We're going in. And there entered the Phantom Fapper.
Oh, I only heard rumors about that.
A vastly naked, moderately
obese person, right?
He wasn't obese. He definitely wasn't like
there was
that.
moobs. There was moobs involved.
Well, I couldn't tell because there were suction cups on the nipples. It was,
Ugh.
yeah. And those were in there. There are things you don't forget. The Phantom Fapper is definitely one of those. And let's just say, he was not flying at half-mast. He was at attention. And I don't know what he was saying, but I think it's safe. I don't know what was playing, but it's safe to say K-pop was got its start right there. it was, yeah. Oh boy.
This is why I love people so much. So much.
So we get through the stream, and we close out, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to delete this, aren't I? And Jack's like, yeah, it's probably a good idea.
You could have just unlisted it.
Well, back then I didn't really, I didn't put thoughts behind it, because I'm like, oh, they're gonna read it, someone's gonna watch it, someone's gonna flag it, and it's gonna go away. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I can get rid of it, but I'm not sure I really want to. But I felt it was the safer choice to get rid of it.
Yeah, understandable.
And then I found out that, there's software that can let you download the stream before deleting it, and I'm like, oh my god, why did I do that?
Well, you live and learn.
Yeah.
Life is such.
Oh yeah, Monkey's doing a stream on this.
One of the things I find interesting is when people go over the lore of this little YouTube community, how everything came together. I always like those stories.
It is always good to know the lore. There's some really good times.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't believe it's been since 2018.
Well, because the first night I watched Lords of the Night was the first night that Satsu was on. And then one of the things I am one of the other ones I kind of remember is that when right before Monkey left, and they had they spent the entire time on that Time article about, it's like, oh, this is how we got Trump elected, we got Biden elected, and how just wild that story was. And the reason why I remember it is because when I first read it early in the morning, I just basically spammed it multiple times to everyone. And then on here, when we had Drunkle on, and he just was threatening Camel because he thought Camel was saying something bad about me.
Yeah, we were making fun of something, and I think it's safe to say Drunkle had a few.
Did he live up to his... I forget about Drunkle too. Is he still making YouTube videos?
Not so much anymore. It's been a while since he's put one out, but he's mainly doing Twitch stuff.
And the AAA.
And the AAA.
Oh, that's right, with Sinatra, right?
Yeah, Sinatra and Polly.
I haven't watched their stuff in forever.
They're just at an awkward time for me, because it's right as I'm coming home from work. Some nights.
Yeah, I can usually catch the. I think after the first hour, I'll usually be able to catch something.
Sinatra and his 45 titular articles.
So, have you seen anything good lately there, Gabby?
Shucks, I've just been watching a bunch of anime, so I don't know if how much you guys enjoy anime. I'm a big old fat weeaboo.
Let's see. I've been watching. Oh, what the hell? What's it called? I have to bring it up. For some reason, I am brain farting on the top. Well, one of the ones.
Just give a description of the show. I might be able to figure it out.
It's one where this guy, the first season. It's in the second season now. First season, he's an orb, and this guy dies and falls on him, and so he takes his body based on that. And then To Your Eternity. That's it.
Oh, that one's so sad. It's so good though.
It is. It's very dark. And,
it is so dark.
I wouldn't
First episode made me cry.
It's very real. I guess would be the.
It's visceral.
Yeah. It doesn't. That's like as soon as his body transformed into that one gal after a while, it's just like, oh well, she's dead. That's how you find out what happens to people. Is like, oh, she transformed, she's dead.
I can't think of anything sadder, whether it's like To Your Eternity or like any vampire or so novel. I'm like, I can't think of a worse fate than living hundreds or thousands of years and watching everything you know and love die and fade away.
Yeah.
Like, that just sounds miserable to me.
Well, and that's where you get into that, like, dubs and subs differentiation.
Most of the time, subs are better.
I'll watch something in subs, and it's like, I don't understand what the hell's going on with the story. And I think it's because the translations that they're using, like the total legitimate website that I use to watch these shows, the translations are not good. And so
it depends on who's translating them. If it's like fan translations or if it's like localizers. Localizers are just more like leeches. They're awful. They will actively change and edit stuff.
But I will always watch,
like, just to suit their narrative.
I'll watch something with subtitles regardless, because even though the afflection of the language is there, you can still kind of read how you're supposed to read it rather than how they're reading it for you. And it's like, I saw what you did there, you bitch.
And there's just like recent voice actors who have just gone like Jameson Price. He voiced the Count in Gonkutsuo, and he voiced a popular Bleach character who was African American. He's just like, I'm gonna step down on this role. I don't want to take.
He's Mexican.
Oh, I don't know. I don't watch Bleach. Okay.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to. I don't want to take jobs away. I'm like,
Chad was one of my favorite characters in the other one, and yeah, he's God, you're stupid. Like,
I don't watch Bleach.
No,
Forgive me.
Not you, the guy.
Like, yeah, and I'm like, so you're an incredible talent.
Yeah.
He's just denying his talent and bringing like characters like that to life. So it's like you just looped right back around to being racist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Way to go, douchebag.
Oh, I liked him so much.
And I got blocked by Eric Vale. For
I'm blocked by Monica Rail.
Well, she's stupid, so it doesn't matter. But
No, that's a win. That's a freaking W. If you're not blocked by her, I don't know what you're doing.
I haven't really done anything to make it easy, because I mean, I could just be like, Vic did nothing wrong, and she'd probably block me for that. But
I still have I stand with Vic in my bio.
If I'm going to like get someone to block me, I don't want to shut up Wesley it. You know, anyone could do that and get blocked. It's nothing new. It's nothing big. If you can like hurt someone's feelings enough to get them to block you, that is like chef's kiss. Like
I had a moment like that with Steve Shives. Like, I missed his blockbot list, and it was back when TJ Kirk was. He used to follow me, and then he like blocked everyone who followed Destiny, which is stupid, but whatever. Like, it was back when which feminist was it? Male feminist who killed somebody, and TJ was doing a fundraiser for domestic violence. Yeah, he was just doing a fundraiser for domestic violence, and I'm just like, I told Steve Shives, I'm like, he's not taking money away from anybody. Like, I just came to TJ's defense. I got the block, but I got to tell him something to his face. I got to call him an idiot to his face.
That's always a good feeling.
It felt good, man.
Especially when they really are an idiot.
Let's see. Mine, my more recent one, that my wife actually watched me do, and she's like, "Stop it! You're supposed to be going to bed." I'm like, "No, I'm not done yet." Like, you can't stop this train now. I have no idea who this bitch is, but let's see if I can find it. It's taking some scrolling.
I had to explain to Robin what block bots were, because she kept sharing stuff with me from various people, and I'm like, I can't see it, I'm blocked. And she's
Hold on just a second, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay. You're saying there, Travis?
Oh yeah, she's like, well, how did you get blocked by this person? I was like, I don't know, but if you follow certain people online, you will wind up on a list, and people will just block you because you follow somebody they don't like.
Well, there was a non I don't stand with Vic guy. Dr. Key has the prescription. So yeah, this guy, he's pretty much like, I don't even think he took it was based on the what's her name? She does the stream with a bunch of gals with Nerdrotic. Chrissy Meyer. She did a stream with Vic, and he did his boomer moment where he pulled his laptop camera down.
He was trying to reach for something behind his monitor, and his camera fell down. I added you that about the news.
Yeah. And I'm like, this is quite possibly the dumbest thing I've ever read, and I hate everything about it.
Anime News Network has just been already debunked. They're not news. Like, they gave negative reviews for Rising of the Shield Hero. Like, not because of, it did well in numbers for show-wise, novel sales, streaming services. They're just like, well, actually, it doesn't fit our progressive narrative, so we're going to give it a thumbs down. I'm like, you're supposed to be reporting the news, not your opinions, you pricks.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean...
And then they're just like, oh, yeah, Vic exposed himself. I'm like, Who doesn't wear boxers when they're on stream? Like, plenty of... He didn't go Dark Side Phil, okay?
Yeah.
Like, relax.
And even Chrissy Meyer's like, yeah, he was off on the stream and then he came back like 2 seconds later. Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, the host was even like, no one was offended. Like, nothing bad happened. It was just literally a nothing burger. No one on the stream was offended. He had a boomer moment at best. And they're just like, oh yeah, let's bring up his freaking lawsuit and defamation and everything and just paint our narrative.
I think the saddest part with the whole Vic Mignogna thing, is that how you say it? Mignogna?
I don't know.
Mignogna? Vic Mew Mew Mew. We'll stay with that.
Vic Mew Mew.
That'll be his new name. I'll put a cat face on him and he will be Vic Mew Mew. If I never have to say that last name again, that will be what I do.
Type it in speech to chat and see what it says. How to pronounce begonia. Begonia? I feel like I'm a bad fan. I don't know how to pronounce it either. I'm terrible.
Google Translate. Okay, something that is, Corsican. That doesn't help me. There we go.
Vic Mignogna.
Mignogna. So I don't think that's it. Like Mignogna.
Big eggnog? What?
Mignogna. Somehow I don't think that's correct.
Oh my god. This is hilarious.
Vic Mignogna.
Oh, the Japanese one seems to get it right. Vic Mignogna. Mignogna.
Vic Mignogna.
Let's see if I can get audio from this. Right there.
Vic Mignogna.
Vic Mignogna.
It just sounds weird.
How about the French?
Vic Mignogna.
Yeah.
Vic Mignogna.
Oh, this is gonna be stupid. Alright. We'll go German, then we'll go back to what we were talking about.
Vic Mignogna. Vic Mignogna.
Vic Mignogna. Das Boot. Okay, there we go. Anyway. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be not Mig.
Anemone.
Mew Mew. Okay, we're good there. We're good. Vic Mew Mew is going to be his name from here on now. Yeah, Begonia. That's a good one. But yeah,
he's just like the sweetest guy. I've ever seen clips of him interacting with his fans.
And that's what the funniest part about the whole Kick Vic thing is their proof in him being this terrible, lecherous predator is just him being incredibly socially awkward.
right?
No.
Like
he's
someone
just
tried to say he was like anti-gay because he didn't want to sign like a yaoi fanfic with like his character Edward from Full Metal Alchemist. And I'm like, no, the dude's uncomfortable. Like he's gone outside and given preachers who were like outside of like anime cons and stuff like what for. It's like, dude, like stop the hate. Like, you know, he's done that, but he doesn't want to sign like yaoi. Yeah, I mean that's fair. It makes him uncomfortable.
what you don't
It's
want
called
to you
boundaries.
don't want to sign my personally made incest yaoi with, you know, Alphonse
With
giving
Edward
it to
Elric?
Edward? Like, no, like, fuck yourself. Like, yeah, it's
so-
it's bullshit.
He's the sweetest guy.
Like, he's just so incredibly socially awkward, and like, I miss a lot. Like, I call myself Captain Oblivious, and even I can pick this up. Like, it's bad when I'm noticing that something's off there. But yeah, let's see if I can find. Oh yes, I think I pissed Vince off by saying that Audrey Hepburn was vastly overrated.
Mid. I saw that. That's his wife. That's his waifu, dude.
Oh yeah. I'm like I
One of his waifus.
I have no idea who she is. Like, there's a gal. The only thing that made me think of it was there's a gal at my work who posts Audrey Hepburn quotes all the time, and I'm like, grow up. Like, I don't know, you know, who. I don't know who she is, like, as a person. I saw one movie with her in it, and I hated every woman in it because I was 10. Didn't need to be watching the movie. And I think it was My Fair Lady.
Most of my experience was in the middle of a film class, and our professor, she had a big thing. She had a big thing for her and Stanley Kubrick. So that was all the class.
Yeah, my misspelling of her name, I think I was thinking of Aubrey Plaza, who, you know, as Camo puts it, she scarouses me.
Scarouses.
Yeah? Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, the first thing that Vince sends to me after I just go, all the tweet is just like, okay, Audrey Hepburn, overrated or vastly overrated? And the first thing he does is he posts like a lewd of her. He's like, dude, you can't do that. Yeah, well, I think I just did. And then he told me to shut my whore mouth.
Apologize.
I will not apologize.
I apologize for nothing.
I'll double down after I watch a movie, or I'll apologize after.
Just double down for the shiggles.
Well, I mean, it's gonna happen anyway, but like, I think I can say with all honesty, meh.
Okay. I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but it is.
That needs to be a bumper sticker. Like, you can see like the stick figure with its hands like to its side, like like the Moonanites, like I'm doing this as hard as I can. Do you have some kind of filter on your chat, Johnny? Because I'm seeing Ty type some stuff, but I can only see it on your stream chat, but not on the YouTube chat.
On the stream chat?
Are there like filtered words?
No.
I'm just I don't know. My opinion of Audrey Hepburn was just contaminated by having a very obsessed film professor. So maybe I can maybe I'll go back in a couple of years and look again. But
I'm not on Top Chat.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, Della pointed that out. That was me. That was me. Thank you. Live chat it is. Della did... Aw, Della can do good on occasion.
I absolutely hate the whole live chat, Top Chat thing.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I just thought it was YouTube censoring, like, naughty words.
Oh, that would make sense why I can't see the thing. Because she blocked me. So I'll have to give her a class. That's the Coda Man. We don't care about him. Alright, and Bear's retweet of the Trump shilling NFTs.
Oh,
I don't know if you saw that. That's fucking hilarious.
Is that the weird, awkward, he made himself into a superhero thing?
Yeah.
God, I hate NFTs so fucking much.
I was talking to a coworker and I said, "Yeah, I opened up an investment account." And he was like, "Oh my god, you did get into crypto."
No, dude.
And they're like, well, how much do you have in crypto? I don't have any. I can't afford to invest. Honestly, I think that's probably a good thing because I wouldn't put a dime in crypto right now.
So
they always tank. Like, have you seen the Twitter account, like Crypto Bros taking their L's? Something along those lines. It's just that account's a good refresher of why not to get into crypto. I mean, it's good in theory, not in practice.
So, yeah, So I had my fill of Twitter for the day, and then there are some things that you just see that call to you, like a siren in the water, and that was the one that my wife was like, "Dude, get off the phone." I'm like, "Oh no, this must happen." It was Saul Grover, who she put out a thing that I was unfortunate enough not to type out. I didn't get screenshots before deleting, or before she blocked me. But let's see if I can pull this from my friend Meowington, who decided he was going to assist me. She tweeted out, if you ever want to find out how much respect a man has for women, tell him he can't go to a female-only space.
That's such a stupid tweet.
Yeah. My response, if you ever want a virtue signal, say something utterly stupid, like this.
That's just, you're right.
To which she flipped me off. I mean, rude. And then sent...
And blocked you?
Posted an article that was written about her... apparently she has a thing called Giggle, which is a female-only space. That got in trouble for being a female-only space. I guess I didn't read the article. But she flipped me off, and I replied with Saitama, with the bland look on his face, just saying, okay.
I've never heard of Giggle. Is that like some kind of feminist news site like the Mary Sue?
I don't know if it's a news site. I think it's a dating app. Like, I was trying to care... Oh, let's see here. Giggle. The female app. Female-only social media feed and female-only dating platform. So, for lesbians. Apparently.
I bet you if you read the fine line in there, there's actually like a whole other story. I doubt she read the article that she posted to you. Maybe it's like one of those like swerf or turf sites who like didn't submit like trans women.
Yeah. And then after I had sent that reply, she blocked me. And then I was like, well, now I'm done. like no, baby, this is how this works. Let me send this real quick. And then as soon as I saw I was blocked, I'm like, all right, I can sleep like a baby now.
I never come across those sorts much. I'm on like a big old block list for like raging feminists like that. Even back when Vince had his really large account, I was still on more block lists than him.
Interesting.
Like Feminista Jones and like all sorts of big raging feminists had me blocked.
I got put on a public list of Nazis, and I'm like, what? I don't even put anything that... I don't put much on Twitter. You just put me down as a Nazi for some reason?
Someone called you a Nazi for what?
Well, not only did they call me a Nazi, they put me on a list of Nazis. I'm on
one of those
list.
weird bookmark things?
Yes.
Oh, we're going to make a list.
Man, I went through that entire list and looked at all the people and like, hey, there's a lot of people in here I kind of want to follow now.
It's like the hidden replies. It shows you all the cool people.
Yeah. Oh, well, that backfired now, didn't it?
Thanks for highlighting all of the cool, awesome people. Thank you. You didn't have to do that for me. I know it's almost Christmas and everything, but golly gee, thanks, buddy.
Just the obtuseness of some people. Like the other day, on the Twitter files, when they brought up libs of TikTok and how it said that before suspension they had to consult so and so, and somebody posted, is like, look, they're not being persecuted. Libs of TikTok was being protected because they had that permission to suspend her.
Oh, they had to follow the rules. That's protection.
It's like, yeah, I don't think you understand what they were meaning. They basically put a note in there saying, it's like, yeah, if you just suspend this person for no reason, it's just going to raise hell. So, get permission.
Oh, I found the article. There we are.
Oh, Actual Justice Warrior had a good video. He covers a lot of like the Young Turks, and like him covering the Young Turks covering the Twitter files was hysterical. 10/10 recommend.
NPR also did a hit job on it too.
NPR is just a quack. They used to do so good. They used to do good. They just became a bunch of wrong. Like they were always activists. I mean, kind of, but like they just went down the rabbit hole. Like they're awful.
I listen to them occasionally. But they had to go on there. It's like, oh yeah, the Twitter files allegedly have evidence of accusations of bias, and I'm like, wow, you are using a lot of words there to disguise the fact that it isn't that you're trying to make it sound like, oh, there's some doubt there. There's no doubt. It proves that there was bias.
Does this look like the face of a sane person?
Is someone rubbing their microphone right now?
Oh, that was me. Sorry.
Oh, good.
I was moving something I was moving my desk around.
Don't have a Vic Mew Mew moment, or we might have to cancel you, Travis.
Does this look like the face of a sane person to you?
No, she's crazy and like probably not in the good way.
Yeah.
Like not a lot of fun in bed.
Yeah. So
She
yeah.
has the eyes.
So yeah, let's see here. On the echoes of Orwell and threat to women's safety, to women's rights and safety. A bold Gold Coast pioneer is standing up for her right to prioritize and protect sexual reality.
Oh, however, initially Grover did not count on trans women wanting to use her app. I told you, someone pick up the phone. I called it. They didn't allow trans women. She didn't read the article she sent you. Oh, I love being right sometimes.
Yeah, and her the tweet is, on Monday we were notified the proceedings against me and Giggle in a federal court. Tickle versus Giggle will be Australia's gender versus sex case for female spaces. Right now, I'm focused on relaxing. We have 25 days to respond, and I'm due to give birth in 24. And I don't care.
They literally eat their own, and then they cite like their in eating to other people they feel like are conservatives or other to like try to prove a point. I'm like, no, you're just proving that you guys are cannibalistic. Shut up. Halt die Klappe.
Yeah.
Cannibalistic's not in chat either. Just can't really say that. But yeah, no, it's absolutely ridiculous, and it was funny because in that entire time, my wife's like, "Don't send that," and I'm like, "No, you don't know how this works." Like,
Honey, do the opposite of hold me back.
like, this is the internet. You're supposed to push me into things. Come on, you gotta steer into the skid. That's how it works.
I just don't get into the arguments and debates on Twitter anymore because it started this whole thing. It's like, okay, what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm absolutely correct on all my facts, and then I'm going to go into the argument. But I'm also incredibly lazy, and I'm not going to look any of it up. So most of the time when I see something dumb, I'm like, okay, whatever.
Well, and I
Twitter
hate it when
used
I'm
to
having
be
a
okay.
Twitter conversation and I say something like, the debate fallacy where you can't prove a negative. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not debating you. I am gonna simply ask, can you prove a negative? I'm only asking you because I know you can't. Just like you can't prove this other thing, like the opposite of this negative that I'm telling you. Like, you can't prove that because you have what? No evidence. There's nothing there.
That's what happened with me, and I tweeted about a shoe in Balenciaga, and like some rabid anti-fan of hers, like pro Xanderhall person, was just like in my notifications for days, and all I asked was like evidence, citation, and like they would never provide any of it. They were just like, shoe has hundreds of homophobic tweets. She targeted Balenciaga because it's a gay company. And it's just like, can I get proof? Can I get proof? Because I have tweets and I have screen caps and I have clips of video that demonstrate otherwise.
Yeah.
And there's fucking nothing. Like, you can't just debate. If Twitter was a place to debate people, it's not that way anymore.
Yeah.
They just want to yell at you. People just want to hop in and yell at you.
I almost got in a bar fight because someone told me that Ilhan Omar wasn't anti-Semitic.
In real life?
Yeah. And I just
that would have been fun.
I just looked at him and I go, Louis Farrakhan.
If you were at the bar, were they already sloshed to high hell?
Oh, we were both. All three of us were fucked up. And I'm like,
some things you still don't say when you're fucked up.
Yeah. And I'm like, she has been clipped to Louis Farrakhan's nutsack since day one. And he's just, well, that's not her. The fuck? Like,
well, it's a simple fact. If you're like, it's like, hey Travis, I see a bunch of pictures of you with Klan people, and you're talking about hanging out with a bunch of Klan people. And I'm like, well, they're not me. It doesn't matter. You're Klan adjacent. You're probably agreeing with them.
Well, it's like, yeah, I might not be a member of the Klan, but that doesn't that doesn't, me having pictures with, getting hugged by Louis Farrakhan isn't going to be like, well, you might not appear anti-Semitic, but this picture says otherwise.
I just want standards to be applied equally. Like, if they're going to go on the defensive, be like, oh, no. Association does not mean, like, entire agreement. It's like, okay, so can you apply that to the right, please?
Oh, no? Fairness. Gabby, you're just asking way too much of people.
I don't feel like I am.
There was one thing that I pointed out to somebody today, was and it's on the double standard thing. On January 6th, they did have the noose and the gallows that they were parading around, and that is continuously being pointed out as, look, they're intending violence because they had this. But how many guillotines did you see mocked up and paraded around in 2020 in the Summer of Love?
That's true, and all the anti-police, like, put them in a, put them in a skillet, fry them like bacon. That's not a call to violence.
Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
Yeah.
But when you... But whenever you point that out, people, like I did today, somebody's like, well, the circumstances were different. And
Yeah, it was
But
our guy,
then-
not yours.
I just like being a centrist because I can look at Looney Tunes on both sides and be like, you know what? I don't feel like I don't bat for either team, so I can be like, this guy's cool. Screw that guy. Okay, this guy over here is all right. Screw that other loser. And like, I don't have to run defense for idiots or just straight up racist or sexist. Like, because I'm not batting for either team. Like, I have not placed any bets.
Yeah.
I don't have money riding on it.
Well, the way I see it, it's like, well, for example, Steve Byrne. In listening to his stuff, he seems pretty much politically in the same ideology that I have. Like, I don't know all of, his political leanings or anything, but just based on interviews, his stand-ups, other like podcasts that I've listened to him talk on, I think we're pretty much politically aligned. Like, we're pretty close to being very politically similar. But I can also look at him and go, what are you gonna say that's gonna fuck that up for me? Like, like something's gonna happen, and it's gonna be like, well, for now, this is what's gonna go on here. Like, I know for a fact he may say something that's just going to completely like shit the bed politically for it. But I mean, I'm not so obsessed with the guy that he's gonna say something and then be like, all right, time to burn every picture that I have on this guy. He is dead to me. My hands are washed. Whatever. If he were to say something that I disagree with, I'll just be like, okay. That's about it.
Okay, one of the things I have been driving me nuts lately, though, is that we keep bringing... Since Elon Musk has basically taken up the entire 24-hour news cycle now, before Twitter, why was there so much hate against him in particular?
Gosh, I can't even remember anymore. Because
upside down books.
I can't remember anymore. It's kind of, it might be kind of similar to like people didn't hate Donald Trump until he started coming out politically. People didn't really hate on Elon until he started making his political and social opinions known. I think it's somewhere along the same line as that.
I mean, I don't want to kiss Elon Musk's ass, but we look at him. He's helped develop the popularity of electric cars, which is what everybody wants us to go to. He's helped drop the cost of space travel a humongous amount.
Go Volkswagen. Yay.
But now he's like he's the most horrible person in the world. It's like, okay, yeah, let's look at the grand scheme of billionaires out there right now. Jeff Bezos is basically running sweatshops in the United States, so Bill Gates is like pushing all sorts of dystopian ideas to the UN.
Oh, what I really hated about the COVID lockdowns is so many. I mean, Bezos and all like other top tier like producers made bank on those lockdowns from this in the same group that championed them to like hell and back. Also cry about rich white men, and they championed policies that made rich white men richer.
If I would have known, and this is another one of those hindsight things, like if I'd have known like anything about stocks, I would have purchased stock in Lowe's at the start of the pandemic.
Oh, that would have been brilliant.
Because by the
Oh,
end,
yeah.
holy shit. Like,
So many people had nothing to do but house projects. That's right. I forgot about that.
yeah, and their stock exploded after that.
I know. I got stuck at home, and I started getting into that. Even I redid parts of the house. I that in my I rebuilt my transmission in my car and redid parts of the ignition system, the fuel injection system. Man, I spent so much money just doing projects. I wish I put money in towards it. That's a good idea.
I had the opposite. Everyone else got like unemployment and got to like be stuck at home. The last 2 years in COVID, I worked all the time. Like I couldn't keep staff. It was like the same song and dance. They'd come and work for 3, maybe 4 weeks and then just never show up again. Never answer any phone calls. Like they dropped off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Constant call-ins. Someone had the sniffles. They couldn't work for 2 weeks. So I pulled like 12, 14, 16-hour days. Sometimes for like months on end with no days off.
I was working a group home, and in the amidst the lockdown, and it still drove me nuts that people. And I don't. It doesn't matter how you feel about the lockdowns. I understand that they were implemented for a reason. And then, granted, a month later, it just got old because, nothing was changing except for that we were just told to wait longer. But, we have people who have, we're caring for people with, compromised immunities. Like, we can't fuck around with this shit. So, one of the people at the group homes went to a house party. Well, coincidentally, one of those people had COVID. And then they took that to work, and then that work ended up spreading there at that one group home. That one group home ended up having a staff pull from that group home to a second group home. So that implemented that, and you know how germ theory works. Kaboom, kaboom. Like half the group home has it, or half the group homes have it, and now the other half are, needing to quarantine from the other half. And so everyone's like, well, I didn't know this was going to happen. You were told in the beginning that this was going to happen. That's why they tell you not to do that shit.
Being locked in a facility, especially with multiple other people, like the virus just isn't going to like bounce around and also like evolve from person to person, so it just becomes a slightly different strain, so it's just going to stick around for longer. Like that's just how viruses have always worked.
Yeah. And so what the thought is that they're like, well, until we get an understanding what's going on, we'll just, have these guys get through with what they get through, and then once it burns its way through the group homes, then we'll go back to everyone will have their 14 days after the symptoms stop. A few of the clients, no problem, not a problem at all. A couple, like hospitalizations, and as you would think. And then it just people were being stupid with it rather than actually exercising any form of caution.
Wasn't there a lot of outcry about like hospitals being flooded, but they actually weren't flooded?
Not where I was located, but I mean, we're in the middle of BF Egypt, so there's not really.
We here in the city we had they implemented a idea at first, and it was we're going to set up University Hospital as being the Metro's COVID hospital. That way we can keep the rest of the hospitals relatively safe for other procedures and things like that. And it worked for about 4 months, and then it finally just came to a halt, and everybody just started taking in COVID patients.
I've got a
Yeah.
bit of a story for off the stream, but yeah, it's starting to get pretty late, so I think we can call it. We're going almost 15 away from 2 hours, so
Not a bad stream.
No, not bad at all.
Parting thoughts there, Travis? Other than fuck GE?
Yeah, fuck GE. That's a good one, though.
No, I like it. It harkens back to my appliance sales days, and it's just like, fuck you guys. Like,
yeah. Repair side's even worse. We all hate it. Parting thoughts, when in doubt, nap.
I'm good with that.
When in doubt, what now?
Nap.
Naps are underappreciated. Need to have siestas for adulthood.
Yep. Sorry, this is adult siesta time. You can take that shit and go over there with it. How about you guys?
Oh,
Final thoughts? I do like how we kind of looped back around to like Burnham, and then like we're talking about COVID lockdowns, and was his last album was he did all that during COVID.
Yeah.
And like the whole Welcome to the Internet and all that was just produced by himself. So we kind of stayed on topic, didn't we? A little bit.
Everything's related. There are no coincidences.
It's all in a bagel. If you know that reference.
That I know.
Travis, have you seen I think the movie's called Everything Everywhere All at Once, something along those lines.
Oh,
It's about multiverse.
yeah. I know I've heard of it. I've never seen it though.
I recommend it. It's so funny. It's so funny.
There's a gal, actually.
Everything's in a bagel.
There's a gal I went to high school with. She's a set designer on that movie.
Oh, she probably has so much fun.
She said that Michelle Yeoh was amazeballs. Her words, not mine. But and I'm like, she's on one of my my top actress lists. So yes,
She gave off those vibes for me. I think I'd want to meet her.
I would very much appreciate that. But yeah, I had something and I lost it. So take with that what you will. But with that, the Zoom is closed. Have a good night, all.
Good night.
Later, taters.